Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. You guys are going to notice the location's a little bit different. Today we're playing on Arkadia, and because we're on Arkadia, I think it's a good time to start talking about Arkadia Moon Deeds. And what specifically we're going to be talking about Arkadia Moon Deeds is the cool little robot that comes with those deeds, okay? So, new deal, they just announced this. Very cool, but you guys are going to see why I'm a little suspicious in a little bit. Very cool, though. So, if you buy 50 Arkadia Deeds for a value of 300 USD or 3,000 PEDs, so for those of you guys who are overseas, that's probably still a lot of money in your currency, right? $300 is $300. Anyways, that's how much they're selling them for. 300 USD for 50 deeds. It's been this price for a long time now. That's basically $6 a deed or 60 PED a deed. Now, if you buy 50 or you spend $300, what you get for a limited time only is a little robot. And what I'm going to do is tell you why this screws over people who bought deeds a long time ago in so many ways. So let's jump into it. First off, if at any time in the last roughly 2 years, you've bought Arkadia Moon Deeds, you don't get that robot. Even if you spent thousands and thousands of USD putting your money and your faith behind this moon, you don't get that robot. The people who held out, who waited the longest, they're getting that reward, okay? So first off, the problem with this is it's rewarding new people for coming into the system. The reward for old people is that your deeds get to be liquid sooner. So if you think about that, that's sort of crazy. Like, your reward for being the first investor is that they're trying to help you liquidate your money faster. You don't get the robot. They're not saying, hey, if you had these once upon a time, these are the mobs we're going to hunt, by the way, raptors. If you had these once upon a time, we're going to help you out and give you the deed. We're going to give you the robot because you bought it back in the day, because you had faith in us and we failed you and you weren't able to liquidize this when you thought you would be able to. We're going to do you a solid and give you this little robot to hang out with you. It would have been pretty simple. They could have just searched inventories. Anyone with 50 deeds or more would get the robot. It would be a very cool concept. But instead, what they're doing is offering anyone who buys $300 worth of deeds a robot. It's the reward for getting into this game so late. And it also devalues Arkadia Moon Deeds. Now, I've been arguing with people online about this forever, but basically, by offering the robot, MindArk and, in extension, Arkadia, the people who developed the moon, are admitting that moon deeds actually are not worth $6 a deed or 60 PEDs. You guys are probably thinking I'm ridiculous. You're getting a free robot. You're not paying for the robot, but you are. You see, you get this robot, you can turn around and sell it. I've heard of them selling for as much as 500 or 1,000 PEDs. So you can get this little robot, this little pet, you turn around and you sell it for 500 PEDs, and now you get 50 deeds for about $250. So if you do the math on that, right, that's actually devalued the deeds by quite a bit, okay? I'm going to do the math real quick, but basically it's $5. So all of a sudden now, if you can sell that pet for 500 PEDs, which I have heard of people doing, you're getting your Arkadia Moon Deeds for $5 or 50 PEDs instead of $6 or 60 PEDs. So anyone at this point who bought the deeds at a $6 price point, or is still buying them at a $6 price point, is sort of losing out. Now, granted, you're getting this for a bulk buy, which means that you've got to put a lot more money in. So there are things like that to consider. At a lower value, if you're buying one deed at a time, it might still be worth $6, right? According to sort of economics and everything like that. If this was an open market where everybody could trade and do things as they wished, the deeds might actually still be worth $6. It's just if you bought it in bulk, you're losing it. If you waited, you could have gotten a better deal. And seeing as how Arkadia Moon Deeds are paying out about once a week, I looked it up, like every 5 to 8 days they're paying out. So I'm going to say once a week, just to make that number simple. They're paying out 1 PEC a deed once a week. So if you've been holding those deeds for a whole year, you've managed to make probably a grand total of 52 PECs. So your deeds that you paid 50 PEDs for, you probably paid actually, like, at this point, you've made a little bit back, right? You've made about 2% of your money back, which isn't too bad, okay? So stick with me here. I hope I'm making sense. Basically, by getting the pet, you're getting a discount, right? The people who didn't get the discount got the deed revenue from sort of launch of the moon or whatever. Those people have probably made between 50 and 1 PED off of that. So let's say, let's be super cool here, right? Let's say the deeds did really good. For a while, they were paying out the same as Arkadia deeds. I know that because a lot of people messaged me and said, hey, Serial, you were wrong about Arkadia Moon Deeds not being worth it. And I'm like, all right, fine, maybe I'm wrong. So they were paying out well for a while, right? So let's say you made maybe 2 PEDs, right? So instead of that 50 PEDs, because you spent the money 2 years earlier, and money inflates, so obviously that money was worth more than money today, but because you spent that money 2 years earlier, you got 2 PEDs, or you got a nice return of 4%. That's not bad. Now, if you invested that money in the stock market, you would have made a lot more, but I digress. You've made roughly 4% back, right? Yeah, 4% over 2 years, let's say. Or let's be honest, let's say 4% over 1 year. That's still not the greatest return, but let's say 4% over 1 year. You can see I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here to Arkadia Moon, right? So you made 4% in 1 year. Now they offer this robot deal. The robot marks it off by 10 PEDs, which means if you'd waited, you could have saved 10 PEDs as deed or saved something like 20%. Now I'm working off of 5 instead of 6, so like the numbers aren't exactly right, but you guys sort of get what I'm saying here. If you'd waited, you actually would have been rewarded rather than rewarding the people who took that initial risk. As a business, I get why you're doing this. The deed holders, the current holders, are very upset because they can't liquefy their deeds. They can't liquefy their holdings. There's no other option. You've got to sell these deeds at a lower price point. And how can you do that without upsetting people? But by offering something along with it for free, because now the price point isn't technically lower. It's just realistically lower. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way and a lot of people are upset with me, I'm going to tell you what I think deeds are actually worth and get a lot more people upset with me. So currently, deeds are paying out one PEC a week, right? Which means you're getting roughly 52 PECs a year. Now, if you look at deed prices, usually whatever deeds are paying out, they're worth about 8%. The dividends that you're getting from a deed are about 8% of the deed value. Now, if the deeds are priced a little bit lower, the deed value is actually higher. So like Calypso land deeds are going to pay a little, like around 7 to 8%, maybe 9 to 10%, depending on when you look and all that, right? That's their dividends. That's, let's say, 8 to 10%. Arkadia Underground deeds, because they're way, way less money than Calypso land deeds, pay between probably 6 to 8%. So let's say that Arkadia Moon deeds fall in that 6 to 8%. And for the benefit of Arkadia Moon, let's say 5%, okay? Because again, that's going to make the numbers a lot easier. So whatever Arkadia Moon deeds are paying out a year, okay, that is roughly 5% of the value of one deed. So I'm going to do the math here live, okay? You've got 5%. It's, let's say, what we're paying about, let's say 60, right? So they're paying 60, yeah. they're paying 60 PECs a year, let's say. I think that's a fair number given what we've seen. Maybe with events, we could even give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's bump it up to 1 PED. You're getting 1 PED a year off of these deeds. You're expecting a 5% return rather than an 8% return, which sort of we traditionally look for. Now that you're expecting that 5% return, what should an investor pay for that? If you're getting 1 PED, you're looking at about 20 PEDs is what one deed is worth. I'm going to let that sink in. I just ran the math. I sort of bumbled it up there a little bit, but if you run the math traditionally with what deeds are valued at, you give Arkadia Moon the benefit of the doubt in everything. One deed is roughly worth 20 PEDs. We know this because they're giving us the numbers because those deeds are now paying out. For a lot of people, this is going to be very upsetting because, first, a lot of people paid 60 PEDs a deed. The people who bought that robot, now they're getting them at 50 PEDs a deed. And if you can sell that robot, some people estimate it's worth as much as 1,000 PEDs. They're actually getting them at 40 PEDs for those deeds. That's the lowest price yet. I didn't say that because I'm trying to give Arkadia Moon the benefit of the doubt. Now, when calculating the price, I give them the benefit of the doubt by assuming that the money you're taking in, the dividends, are going to be the lowest of any deed. This makes sense, being that Arkadia Moon Deeds, when released, were actually... Oh, wow, I'm being attacked by a lot of these guys. So on release, Arkadia Moon Deeds were the lowest priced deeds out there, but Crystal Palace Deeds, which have recently been released and are seeing a huge increase in price, are actually priced lower, which is going to, again, devalue Arkadia Moon. So you've got Crystal Palace attacking from the bottom, you've got Calypso Land Deeds attacking from the top, but we're still going to assume that the value is going to stay the same for these deeds. And if you notice, despite all of this, despite all this credit I'm giving to them, I still find a value of Arkadia Moon Deeds to be about 20 PEDs. Now, of course, the market is not rational. A lot of people will point this out very quickly, and they'll say, well, Serial, the market's not rational, and you're wrong. No one's going to value deeds that low. No one's going to sell them that low. But a lot of people I know want to liquidate their deeds. I've had people come to me and say that they will sell me their Arkadia Moon Deeds, like pinky swear that they'll give them to me, at half price, 25 PEDs a deed, 30 PEDs a deed. They'll come to me and tell me that. You give me the money now, when the deeds are transferable, I give them all to you. And I'm not taking that deal, right? A, because that's sort of stupid to just trust people that you know online, you never know. But B, because that just isn't, it doesn't feel like a good deal to me. When I run the numbers, this is what I find. And even if I give them the benefit of the doubt, wow, who is this guy? Oh, this guy's messing me up in here. I gotta kill him. Why am I getting attacked by all these? I don't know what's going on here. For some reason, sorry, I stopped talking about the deeds. I was on a roll and I stopped. For some reason, now all these like little dudes are attacking me. Anyways, for some reason, like Arkadia Moon just didn't take off. You're not seeing what you should be seeing there. I'm not seeing enough events there. I'm not seeing enough hype there. I think a lot of that initial hype, a lot of that initial excitement about the moons just dropped off with the deeds. And I don't know if there's anything that can be done. I don't think Arkadia Moon's like a failed project. I don't think it's... All right, let's attack something that can actually attack. I don't think that Arkadia Moon's a complete failure. I don't think that, hey, if you put your money into this, you just lost it all. I don't think anything like that. I think that would be a little ridiculous. But I wanted to make the video just to sort of show everybody where everything stands and give them my opinion about everything, because I've had a lot of people ask me what I think about Arkadia Moon and how this robot's going to make everything better, and in fact, I don't think it makes anything better. I think it shows that Arkadia and MindArk themselves actually devalue the deeds. If they did want to reward people for buying the deeds, if they did want to reward people simply for supporting Arkadia Universe, and maybe they didn't think about this, maybe they will do this proactively, they would have given everybody that pat. That pat would be in everybody's inventory. If you have 50 deeds, you get that pat. Maybe even say, hey, if you spent money and got those 50 deeds, if you got those 50 deeds through Compat, like, no luck. You weren't supporting us. You were supporting Compat, and you just happened to luck out because we were trying to dump the deeds and we gave them to you. Well, let's say you give it to anyone who's deposited money and bought the deeds, and they have 50 PDs worth of deeds. That would be a pretty like nice thing to do. But what they're doing now is just showing that they've lost faith and they're trying to dump them before it becomes too late. Because if these things become untradeable for too long, at some point people are going to get upset. At some point, people who invested a lot of money are going to start thinking about how to get back at MindArk, how to get back at Arkadia. What can they do to get their money back? Because they want to be able to trade these deeds and get out of it. A lot of people came into this thinking that they could sell those deeds 1 year ago, and those deeds still aren't sellable. It's, in my opinion, it's a bit of a travesty the way the whole thing's been handled. I'm not excited about it. I really wish things had gone differently. When Arkadia Moon launched, I loved the work that they'd done on it. I loved everything with it. I really thought Arkadia Moon had a chance to be something. If those deeds were tradable on auction, I probably would have bought them right then. Right then and there, if Arkadia Moon Deeds were tradable on auction, I would have spent my own PEDs, probably 1,000 PEDs, to buy the deeds. And I would have bought them at 50 PEDs a deed. So by my numbers, I would have lost money. But that didn't happen. They weren't tradable. MindArk saved me because I'm a non-depositor, because I don't put money into the game. I just have my money in-game. It's in my PED card. But that's, I don't know. I think maybe looking back, we're going to... Oh, that was actually a really good loot. Maybe looking back, we're going to be able to look at it and see some of the things that went wrong, and hopefully this is going to fix things in the future. I think the Crystal Palace deeds worked out perfectly. I think that those... It looks like they've done amazing. I didn't think they would do as good as they have, and they've done... Well, they've done a lot better than expected. So I don't get all my calls right, but that's my opinion on the Arkadia Moon. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me, and that's cool. I understand that. I understand that... Oh, I thought I had some bullets left. I completely understand where people are coming from when they say I'm wrong. I completely get that, and that's 100% up to you. If you don't believe me, if you don't think I got something right, that's understandable. I don't get everything right. Maybe I'm wrong on this. And maybe this is just one of those things that like wasn't thought out. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know why. I don't know what the logic is behind the Moon Deeds and what's going on with them now. I just think that the fact that they released this robot for people who invest now is a bit of a slap in the face to people who put trust in Arkadia Moon 2 years ago. You know, they thought there was a lot of potential there, and I don't know. Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe they got it right. Maybe that remains to be seen. But the fact of the matter is they've received a less than ideal return on their investment, including the fact that investment sat there not making money for a while. They received a less than ideal return on their investment, and now people who are getting into it late are getting rewarded just because they're able to make these people liquid. That's not a good sign, right? You don't want to have to pay to get liquidity. You want to get liquidity just because you get it. And yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. It wasn't... I'm going to do a video on Calypso Palace and Calypso Palace deeds, and that one's going to be I really love that system, so that one's going to be a lot better video. But, you know, I've got to call it like I see it, and I do my best to give everybody sort of my opinion, whether it's informed or not. It's an opinion, and it gives people something to think about, hopefully. So, anyways, that's where we stand with that, and let's see where we are with this hunt here. So we went out with 50 PEDs. We're coming back with... What are we sitting on here? Roughly 36 PEDs worth of loot. Not terrible, not amazing though. We've got 36 PEDs. I'm guessing that isn't going to be eliminated by the decay. So overall, we lost about 30 PEDs on this hunt, which it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. This is my first time on Arkadia. Well, not my first time on Arkadia. This is my first time on Arkadia in a while, so I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to get everything right as far as hunting and what mob's best to hunt, but I do like the fact that you're getting a little bit more markup here. So if you look at like this stuff, right, a little bit more markup than usual, 102%. 102.9%. That's nice. Like, it's good to see loot with a little bit more markup, and I definitely like that. Those are 104. These are 110. You can see I'm not getting as many of these because they're priced higher. This one's not bad, 3 PDs worth. The skulls aren't really worth anything. But yeah, like overall, it's a little bit higher markup loot, so I'm going to get a little bit of a better return. So I'm probably going to be pulling out an extra 30. Yeah, maybe. No. Yeah, I'm going to be pulling out like an extra 30 PCs or something like that. So yeah, overall, not too bad of a hunt, and hopefully you guys don't roast me too bad on this, because I know some of you guys have money invested in Arkadia Moon, and you hate to hear it when I talk like that, but I give the best opinion I've got to give, and then I let the cards fall where they will. Obviously, I was wrong on Crystal Palace deeds, so there's a chance that I'm wrong on Arkadia Moon deeds too. Anyways, I look forward to hearing your opinion below, and until next time, peace.